All new at 4, a former High Museum executive faces up to a decade in prison for a federal embezzlement charge.
That's right. The U.S. Attorney's Office says that Brady Lum is accused of using his position as chief operating officer to steal more than $600,000 from the Atlanta institution.
11 Live's Grace King was in federal court for us today and explains what's next for the case.
Brady Lum's attorney told the judge they're ultimately moving towards a guilty plea, but for now, Lum is maintaining his innocence as federal prosecutors build their case.
Lum is charged with one count of federal embezzlement stemming from a federal investigation that accuses him of, quote, using his position at the High Museum to steal more than $600,000 by doctoring invoices and approving transactions for personal purchase. For example, prosecutors say he submitted an altered invoice for roughly $9,100 in November 2024 that appeared to be for the museum's benefit, but the original invoice was actually for a guitar and accessories. They say he repeatedly purchased non-business items and services for himself, creating what U.S. Attorney Theodore Hertzberg called a personal slush fund, betraying one of Atlanta's civic crown jewels.
In court this morning, Lum surrendered his passport and agreed to transfer his firearms to someone else. He pleaded not guilty and will remain out on bond until his next hearing. His attorney, Don Samuel, told me he thinks that next court date will be a plea hearing. In downtown Atlanta, Grace King, 11 Alive News.
All right, Grace, I know you'll watch what happens next. The High Museum says its board referred this case to the U.S. Attorney's Office once it traced irregularities back to Lum. It does not anticipate any impacts on its financial stability or any of the museum's operations.